Okay, so now that I'm live, I can do whatever I want. Like shit. Okay, is my stream like lagging and stuff? Is my stream lagging? No, it isn't. I thought my stream is kind of like lagging and shit. But nah. Okay, so we can do whatever we want, like oh well, let me turn up my brightness a little bit so I can see your comments. And I'll be studying today. I'll be studying hard. Okay. My exam are in 3 days and I'll have to like ace the exam right now. The first thing I'm gonna do is start from modernist poetry, and it has like 43 pages and stuff. So I don't know uh, what to do about it, but let's see what we can do about it. I can't even like. Okay, can you see me actually? Can you actually see me or what is written right now? I don't know, but if you can see me, then it's good. Like if I make this smaller and if I like cut it down towards this size. Oh, I can't cut it down like more and shit. But I want to know if the stream is public or not. Then I'll have to make this a little bit short. Like, yeah, that is kind of okay. Yeah, that is good. My stream is lagging, bro. Drop. My frames are dropping. My frames are dropping somehow. I don't know why. My frames were dropping. I don't know why, bro. I don't know why. I don't want to make my frames drop this much, but it's now good. So yeah, we can do whatever we want. Okay, it's good. Anyways, let's get this started, shall we? So modernist poetry first. I'm fed up with this shit. I've been reading this shit from like from 2 days straight. So modernist poetry. It refers to the poetry between 1890 to 1950 in the tradition of modernist literature, but the dates of the terms depend upon the numbers of factors, including the nation of origin, the particular school in question, blah blah blah, all of that, and the biases of the critic setting the date. The critic poet C.H. Sagan observed in his essay Poetry and Sincerity that modernist has been going on for a long time. Not within living memory has there been a day when young writers were not coming up. The threat of iconoclasm. I don't know what does that mean. Background. Oh fuck! I can't read this. Let's read something else. It's too confusing for my head right now. Modern poetry, not modernist. Hi Ghosty. My ICT test tomorrow, and mine is 3 days later. The term modern refers to things that are characteristic of the present time or have evolved in response to contemporary developments. It can refer to a specific period of time or an approach of thinking, style, and culture that contrasts with older, traditional, or classical ideas. Why don't you study yourself, Ghosty? The term can be applied across many fields, such as art, architecture, philosophy, and technology. So there is modern in art, architecture, philosophy, and technology. Here's an overview of what modern can mean in various contexts. Modern as a historical period. Modern era. The modern era refers to the period from the late 19th century. That means from 1890s to the present day. That means now to 2014. Like people still make modern stuff. I mean, this is the modern. It is often marked by major social, political, and technological changes. For example, the Industrial Revolution, 18th to 19th century, was a key event that set the stage for modern life. The 20th century saw rapid advancements in science, technology, and social systems. The 20th century means from 1950s, right? From 1950s to the till the present. Rapid advancements in science, technology, and social systems. Like we only saw one thing in social system, like is the kind of the schooling system and the study system, which is bad, which is to make slaves and not humans, and that's it. Modernity, the culture, intellectual, and social condition associated with modern life. Modernity involves the embrace of new ways of thinking, living, and engaging with the world. It is often contrasted with pre-modern and postmodern. Postmodern. What is pre-modern and what is postmodern? Maybe pre-modern is like the wars and stuff, like the World War Ones and World War Two, and postmodern is the day-to-day as we live now. Modern in art and culture. Modern art. Modernism in art refers to the movement that emerges in the late 19th and the 20th centuries, characterized by deliberate departure from traditional forms. I actually don't know what is the meaning of deliberate because my fucking English is bad. That's why. Wait a sec. Let me search it up on the browser. Oh shit! Sorry, wrong software. Deliberate. Also, is my stream like lagging and shit? I feel like my stream is lagging in a little bit. I feel like sometimes it lagging. I have to decrease the quality a little bit, I guess, because as for now I'm not doing anything except I mean doing no gaming and stuff. So we can actually decrease the quality to speed and apply. I mean, what could happen? Like I'm getting good internet and deliver it. Let's search up deliberate meaning. Done with or marked by full consciousness of the nature and effects. International, deliberate. 20th century characterized by deliberate departure from traditional forms. So deliberate means conscious. We consciously, deliberately, consciously. Okay, understood. With full consciousness of the effects. Understood. Okay, good. YouTube isn't receiving. Oh my god. Why? I'm not using my internet, bro. Drawing. What's up? Like literally, I'm not using my internet. I mean, my laptop isn't using the full potential of it. Let's go to Task Manager and try to fix this shit. Adobe Acrobat. I need this stuff. I don't need Firefox running on the background. I don't need WhatsApp. And Firefox isn't showing here, but how are you drawing? PDF to brainrot.com. Anyways, I don't need this as well. I don't need Edge as well because I'm not edging in my stream today. That's all. Hello. I want this stream to run fine, but it isn't. Somehow it isn't. Like go to settings. The settings turn on like 2 days later, and then there it is. I can't scroll down because the laptop is so fucking slow. Dude, How to fix this? How to fix this shit? I'm not receiving enough internet. I don't know why. But I have internet. Look, I mean, with this internet, I do live stream my games and shit. My encoders are also like at speed mode. Let's do this thing and boom. Okay. Okay, now we it can be better. It can be better. I still haven't like started my stream yet. But if it lags, let me know if it lags. Okay, I think it's not lagging. So I think what I have to do is open another instance. Okay, just type on the comments if it lags again. It's not lagging still, so that's good. And the quality is still good again. Modern art. Modernism in art refers to a movement that emerged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, characterized by deliberate meaning, fully consciousness from nature and stuff. Individual expression and subjective experiences. Hmm. Artists like Pablo Picasso, Henri Matisse, and Jackson Pollock were pioneers of modern art. Oh my god, it's lagging again, still lagging. Why? What do I have to do here? It's still lagging. And who the fuck is calling right now? When everything just happens right now. Modernism in literature involves a rejection of 19th century realism with experimentation with form, structure, and language. Writers such as T.S. Eliot, James Joyce, and Virginia Woolf challenged conventional narrative techniques and explored themes of alienation, fragmentation, and the inner workings of human mind. Modern literature. Oh my god, it just stopped. It just stopped. Bro, my stream just stopped. What the fuck? Is my PC like too less powerful for this kind of work? Anyways, let me try to do this on my next PC, okay? I feel like I'll keep just doing this all day and nothing else. Let's put it down to 6,000, 6000, and see if you can see all this and without any lags and stuff. Look, let me put it to 1080p and see if we can do it without any lag. And let's see if the stream quality is good as well. Okay, now it's not lagging. But if it lags again, then what can we do actually? I don't know. And if you want me to like do something about the stream quality, then I'll change the stream quality. But for now, it is good. You could literally understand anything. You can literally understand everything. Whenever I start reading on the new page, I mean my PC starts lagging. I mean my stream starts lagging. That's all. Modernism in literature involves a rejection of 19th century realism and experimentation with form, structure, and language. Writers such as T.S. Eliot, James Joyce, and Virginia Woolf challenge conventional narrative techniques and explore themes of alienation. So, writers like T.S. Eliot, Virginia Woolf, and James Joyce, they explored the themes of alienation, then loneliness. I guess alienation means loneliness. That all that. Fragmentation, and fragmentation means, okay, I understand fragmentation and inner workings of human mind. So they were like, those people were like a little bit of philosophical with their writings. And modern architecture emphasizes functional design, yeah, simplicity, yeah, just like our modern day iPhones and stuff, and the use of new materials like steel, glass, and concrete. Architects like Corbusier, what is the name, bro? Corbusier, Corbusier, and Wright, Frank Lloyd Wright helped define modern architectural principles, often rejecting ornate or historical styles in favor of clean lines and openness. Okay, I don't think this will be on my exams, so let's not think about it again. Modern as a way of thinking or approach. Okay, modern thinking. The term also refers to the rational, progressive, and scientific mindset that becomes prominent during the Enlightenment and continues to shape contemporary thoughts. This approach, understood? Modern day thinking, rational, progressive, and scientific mindset, which we think nowadays. Like whenever you do something, you think about it philosophically. What are the bad and good things happen if you do this and that? Scientific mindset had become prominent during the Enlightenment and continues to shape contemporary thoughts. This approach emphasizes logic. That's what I say. Logic, individualism. It builds your personality. Secularism. Okay, understood. And secularism means not believing in God and all that shit, and belief in progress through innovation and knowledge. Okay. Modern science and technology. The term modern in this context refers to scientific and technological advancements that have dramatically transformed society from the development of the internet computers to breakthrough in medicine. Modern technology has revolutionized how we live, work, and communicate. Okay, understood. Modern as a contemporary or present. Modern life. In everyday language, modern often refers to things that are contemporary or current. Yeah, as opposed to traditional, old-fashioned, or outdated. For example, modern life might refer to the technologies, conveniences, and cultural norms of today's society. Yeah, well, like today's cultural norms are not that good, like LGBT and stuff, and mm, the modern people. I mean, how people think modern. Like some things were good or in traditional way. That was how we made. That were how we meant to live. But in the modern ways, I mean, in the modern era, people don't like. How should I explain it? People's mindsets are not all right. Like some people are mentally ill, like how they act in this modern era. Modern as a contrast to traditional. The term modern is often used in opposition to traditional or old-fashioned ideas. Okay. For instance, in cultural context, modern may mean a break from old customs such as modern clothing. Yeah, the clothing styles. The clothing styles aren't actually that bad, but for some people, they are. Like for women, they wear clothes which are too much revealing, that kind of shit, versus traditional attire or modern education. Modern education is like for making slaves and stuff. They don't teach you anything, they just make slaves. I mean, the modern education only helps those who want to pursue slavery. Even you, sorry, I forgot what I was trying to say. Conclusion. In essence, modern refers to anything that is contemporary, innovative, or reflective of the present era. It embodies a dynamic spirit of change, breaking away from the past while embracing new possibilities. mm, and ways of thinking, whether in art, technology, culture, or philosophy. Modernity signifies a break from tradition and an embrace of the new. Modernism. An overview. Modernism is a broad culture, intellectual and artistic movement that emerged in the late 19th and early 20th century primarily. We already are we already know 19th and 20th century, late 19th to 20th century, but it doesn't say like 21st century and all because postmodern is what we call today. Primarily in response to the social, political, and technological changes that reshaped society during this period. It was a reaction against the established tradition of the 19th century, especially the rigid forms and conventions of art, literature, architecture, and other cultural expression. Modernism sought to capture the fragmented, disorienting, and rapidly changing realities of the modern world. Key characteristics of modernism. Wait a second, guys. Somebody like messaged me and stuff. No, nobody messaged me. Sorry. Back to the live stream. Okay, good. Fragmentation and discontinuity. Modernist works often feature fragmented narratives, disjoint structures, and nonlinear storytelling. Nonlinear storytelling. I mean, not simple storytelling, and that. This reflected the sense of fragmentation in society caused by rapid industrialization, urbanization, and aftermath of war. Key characteristics: rejection of tradition. The first characters. I mean, the first points: reject of tradition, then fragmentation and discontinuity. Yeah, modernist works often feature fragmented narratives, disjoint structures, and non-linear storytelling. This reflected the sense of fragmentation in society caused by this reflected the sense of fragmentation in society caused by rapid industrialization, urbanization, and the aftermath of war. In literature, stream of consciousness, techniques, and epic. What the heck? Techniques and epic dislocation are example of fragmentation. Okay, those two, maybe the stories or some kind of poems. I don't know. Exploration of the inner self. The third characteristic of the modern mm era poetry and writings are exploration of inner self. What's inside you? What's making you want to live in this world where there is so much misery in it? Modernist literature and art often focuses on the inner workings of the human mind, emphasizing subjective experience over objective reality. This focus on individual consciousness is seen in the works of writers like Franz Kafka. Yeah, I've read one book from Franz Kafka. It was named Metamorphosis. Joyce and Virginia Woolf, who explored the complexities of the psyche and the disconnection between perception and reality. Alienation and disillusionment. A major theme in modernist literature is a sense of alienation and disillusionment. Many modernist works depict characters who feel disconnected from the world around them, a theme that arose particularly after the trauma of World War One. This feeling of estrangement is seen in the T.S. Eliot poetry, like the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock and The Wasteland, which expresses personal, social, and spiritual isolation. Okay. Innovative use of language and form. Modernist writers experimented with language, syntax, and form. The innovation is marked by the symbolist and imagist movements, as well as the development of poetry that could evoke moods, feelings, and images more than tell a straightforward story. Oh ho ho ho! Understood. Understood. Baby, don't you have to rush. You can take it. You can leave a toothbrush at my place. Also, if you guys want, I want to play. I will play some music for you, some video game music like Hollow Knight OST and stuff because I'm gonna be streaming Hollow Knight after my exams. Let's go to YouTube first and then search Hollow Knight OST and play the playlist. It's only 53 minutes long, not that long. And it's not playing on my earphone. I can't hear it, but you guys can. But you guys can hear it. Okay, I guess the audio quality is good and the frames are not dropping. I hope so. I hope that it doesn't drop so much. And I will decrease the quality for you guys so you could see the stream in good quality. I don't know what song is playing. I don't want to see it as well. But I just want to read while you listen to the music because I can't I can't hear the music. Only you can. Innovative use of language and form. Modernist writers experimented with language, syntax, and form. This innovation is marked by the symbolism and imagist movements, as well as the development of poetry that could evoke moods, feelings, and images more than tell a straightforward story. Eliot, Ernst Pound, and Gertrude Stein were influential in reshaping poetic forms, making use of fragmented language, obscure references, and new ways of portraying human experiences. So they metaphorically used some stories and used them metaphorically in some kind of poem or stories or novels, all of that. Focusing on the modern condition, modernism was deeply concerned with the modern condition, how technological advancements, urbanization, war, and alienation from nature were changing the human experience. Modernist writers and artists explored how these shifts impacted individuals and society. Works such as Fit Girls, The Great Gatsby, or Joyce's Ulysses Sus. It's so sus. Anyways, reflected a sense of disillusionment and confusion brought on a rapidly changing world. Ambiguity and complexity. Modernist works are often marked by ambiguity, and the narrative might leave question unanswered, or the symbolism may be layered and open to interpretation. For example, in The Wasteland, T.S. Eliot uses a range of references from ancient myth to contemporary pop culture that demand deep knowledge to decode, leaving room for multiple interpretations. Rejection of realism. Realism, which focused on representing the world as it is, was largely rejected by modernists. Instead, modernists preferred abstraction and the subjective rendering of reality, seeing the modern world as too fragmented, disordered, and complex to be captured by traditional realist methods. Key themes in modernism. What are the key themes in modernism? The absurdity of modern life. Many modernist works explore the idea that life is inherently absurd. Okay, so many modernists say that life is absurd. Absurdity, absurdism, like nihilism and stoicism, meaningless or disconnected from early systems or belief. This is often expressed through alienation, existential despair, or the breakdown of social and moral order. Works like Albert Camus's The Stranger and Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot convey a sense of life without inherently meaning. The core theme of existentialism and modernism. The breakdown of certainties. Modernist writers reject the Enlightenment era belief in reason, progress, and absolute truth. Instead, they embrace uncertainty, relativism, often leaving questions unanswered or presenting multiple viewpoints. Okay. This is evident in works like Eliot's The Wasteland, where the collapse of cultural, religion, and moral systems is depicted. Search for new forms. Modernists sought to new forms of expression to match the changing view of the world. Writers, poets, and artists experimented with unconventional techniques, stream of consciousness narrative, fragmented worlds, collage, and abstract forms to create new ways of seeing the world. I get it now. The impact of war. I told you already that the world wars were always in the, always impacted the modern poetry and stuff and literature. World War One had a profound impact on modernist literature. The brutality and seamlessness of the war left a deep scar on the cultural psyche, leading to disillusionment, a sense of betrayal, and a questioning of traditional values. Modernist poets like Wilfred Owen and Siegfried Sassoon wrote powerful anti-war poetry that expressed the horror and futility of the war. Key figures in modernism. Eliot's works such as The Wasteland and The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock are quintessential examples of modern poetry. The combined fragmentation, allusion, and the sense of alienation to poetry, the disillusionment of the modern world. James Joyce's Ulysses, one of the most influential works of modernism. The novel Stream of Consciousness. Wait. Wait a second. The novel's Stream of Consciousness technique and its exploration of the inner workings of the mind were groundbreaking. I'm gonna directly read the conclusion because all of the poets I don't have to write about them. Modernism represents a bold, radical break from the conventions of the past, shaped by the turbulence from the early 20th century. Through experimentation with forms, language, and meaning, modernist artists and writers sought to capture the fragmented, alienated and uncertain world they inhabit. The movement's exploration of the individual's inner life, the questioning of tradition and its the questioning of tradition and its embrace of new forms left an indelible mark on the artist and continues to influence contemporary art and literature. Okay. Historical background of modern poetry. Modern poetry emerged as a part of a broader culture and intellectual movement during the late 19th to early 20th centuries. This period was marked by rapid social, technological, and political changes, as well as the major social, technological, and political changes, as well as the major shifts in the way people viewed the world. The historical background of modern poetry is deeply intertwined with the changes which include industrialization, urbanization, and aftermath of World War One, and the rise of new philosophical and scientific ideas. Okay, historical background of modern poetry. That is it. The Industrial Revolution transformed society, creating vast changes on technology, work, and living conditions. Cities grew rapidly, leading to overcrowded, impersonal urban spaces and a detachment from nature. Traditional forms of life, such as rural agriculture and close-knit communities, were replaced by mechanized labor and industrial growth. Poets began to respond to this alienation, with some embracing industrial progress while others critiqued its dehumanizing effects. This created a fertile ground for the emergence of new poetic forms that could address the complex realities of modern life. Industrial Revolution, how it changed the modern era of literature. The Industrial Revolution was transformed society. Revolution transformed society, creating vast changes in technology, work, living conditions. Also, along with that, cities grew rapidly, leading to overcrowded, impersonal urban cities and detachment from nature, where I am right now, like detached from nature inside the city. Traditional forms of life, such as rural agriculture and close-knit communities, were replaced by mechanized labor and industrial growth. Poets began to respond to this alienation with some embracing industrial progress, while others critiqued its dehumanizing effects. This created a fertile ground for the emergence of new poetic forms that could address the complex realities of modern life. Have I told you guys that before that I have to study for some government jobs as well? And I mean, after next year, not this year. Romanticism. Late 18th to 19th century, with poets like William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and Lord Byron, emphasized emotion, nature, and individualism. While it was revolutionary in its time, by the late 19th century, many poets began to feel that Romanticism had become overly idealized and escapist. Modern poetry developed as a reaction to the excess of romantic idealism, shifting towards more realistic, fragmented, and experimental forms of expression. Victorian poetry, represented by poets such as Alfred Lord Tennyson and Robert Browning, also represented a phase that is often dealt with moral questions, faith, and challenges of industrial society. Yeah. However, the modern poets sought to break away from these Victorian ideals, embracing doubt and disillusionment rather than certainty. The rise of modernism. Early 20th century means which time? It means like 1910 and stuff, where the World War One happened. Modernism, approximately 1890s to 1940, was a broad cultural movement that sought to capture the fragmented, alienated experiences of modern life. It was a response to the profound changes brought by industrialization, urbanization, and global conflict. World War One was a turning point. The horrors and aftermath of the war shattered many people's faith in traditional values, religion, and society. This led to widespread feelings of disillusionment and alienation reflected in much of modern poetry. Modernist poets rejected the rigid structure of 19th century poetry and experimented with new forms, language, and techniques to convey the complexities and uncertainties of modern world. Okay. Influence of scientific and philosophical developments. The rise of the light is actually fully charged, you know. You wanna see it? You. Influence of scientific and philosophical developments. The rise of philosophy, psychology, particularly in theories of Sigmund Freud, who focused on the unconscious mind, and Carl Jung, influenced poets to explore the internal workings of the human psyche. Existentialism, a philosophical movement that questioned the meaning of life and human existence in a chaotic, indifferent universe, was also signified. Thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche, Jean-Paul Sartre, and Martin Heidegger questioned traditional notions of identity and morality, leading modern poets to reflect them in themes of alienation, despair, and the search for meaning. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity and advances in quantum physics challenge traditional views of time, space, and reality, influencing the fragmented, non-linear narratives in modern poetry. The influence of art movements. Modern poetry was also heavily influenced by contemporary art movements such as Impressionism, Cubism, Dadaism, and Surrealism. These movements embraced abstraction, irrationality, and experimentation, and poets adopted similar approaches in their works. Dadaism rejected logic and embraced chaos, absurdity, and spontaneity, which also found their way into poetry. Surrealism sought to express the irrational and fantastic elements of the human experience, often thought dreamlike imagery and non-rational associations. The impact of World War One. World War One had a profound impact on modern poetry. The unprecedented scale of violence, the breakdown of traditional values, and the disillusionment felt by soldiers and civilians alike deeply influenced poets like Wilfred Owen, Rupert Brooke, and Siegfried Sassoon, who wrote about the horrors of war in stark graphic terms. Poets of the post-war period like T.S. Eliot and W. H. Auden explored themes of modern and spiritual decay, reflecting the sense of loss and fragmentation experience experienced by individuals and societies in the aftermath of war. War. War never changes. War only makes things worse. That's what I know. Idealization, bro, idealization. What to do about war? Nothing. We can do nothing about war. Because war never changes. It never had changed. The interwar period and the rise of new poetic voices. Well, let me see if I can like play this. I mean, see this on like full screen mode. There is no option to see this document in full screen mode. Yeah, there is none. I'll have to do one thing, which is also only 80 minutes just passed. What am I doing, bro? What am I doing, little bro? Uh, 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 uh. The interwar period and the rise of new poetic voices. The period between the two world wars saw the rise of poets who experimented with new forms and themes. Writers like Langston Hughes explored race, identity, and social justice through the lens of modernist techniques. The race, like the black and white people, identity, and social justice through the lens of modernist techniques, contributing to the Harlem Renaissance. Virginia Woolf, James Joyce, and other writers employed modernist techniques like stream of consciousness narration, influencing poets to experiment with forms and content in similar ways post World War II and beyond. The period following post World War II, the period following World War II continued as themes of disillusionment and alienation of poetry. The trauma of the war and the continued disintegration of traditional social structure led to the emergence of postmodern poetry, which rejected the grand narratives. of history and embraced irony, playfulness, and the deconstruction of language. Poets like John Ashbery, Sylvia Plath, and Allen Ginsberg explored new personal and political subjects, blending fragmented forms and experimental language to reflect the complexities in modern life. Conclusion: the historical background of modern poetry is deeply connected to the dramatical social. The history of The historical background of modern poetry is deeply connected to the dramatic social, political, and intellectual shifts. Intellectual shifts. How can you shift intellectually, bro? That occurred between the late 17th to the mid 20th centuries, from the Industrial Revolution to the World Wars, and from the rise of new psychological and philosophical ideas to the changing landscape of art and culture. Modern poetry emerged as a response to the transformation through experimentation, rejection of tradition, and a focus of the internal and external conflicts of modern life. Poets of this era, what? Poets of this era after what? After that, what? Modern poetry is characterized by a break from traditional forms, themes, and styles. Here are the key features of modern poetry. What are the key features of modern poetry? Let's see. Free verse. Modern poetry often abandons traditional rhythm schemes and meter in favor of free verse, allowing poets to experiment with rhythm and structure. Experimentation with form. Poets play with unconventional formats, line breakups, and visual arrangements, emphasizing innovation over adherence to traditional form. Adherence means someone. Individualism. So, free verse, experimentation with form. Poets play with unconventional formats, line breaks, and visual arrangements, emphasizing innovation over adherence to traditional forms. Individualism focuses on personal experiences, emotions, and perspective, reflecting the poet's unique voice rather than universal themes. Magism strong emphasis on vivid imagery and clear, precise language. This movement, led by poets like Ezra Pound, aimed to convey ideas through powerful, concrete images. Fragmentation reflects the disjoint and chaotic nature of the modern world, using broken narratives, abrupt shifts in tone, and incomplete thoughts. Stream of consciousness. Oh my god, there is so much. How can I remember all that? Imagism, fragmentation, stream of conscious individualism, experimentation with forms. Then first of all is free verse. Stream of consciousness mimics the flow of human thought, often presenting a non-linear narrative to explore deeper psychological or philosophical themes. Themes of alienation and disillusionment responds to the uncertainties of modern life, often exploring themes like existential angst, loss of faith, and the sense of being disconnected from traditional societal norms. Symbolism and allusion incorporates rich symbols and references to mythology, literature, and history to layer meaning and connect personal experiences to broader human themes. Urban and industrial imagery frequently focuses on modern city life, technology, and industrialization, contrasting them with nature and traditional rural settings. Rejection of Rome, urbanization, okay, rejecting nature and traditional rural settings. Rejection of romantic idealism moves away from the idealized portrayals of nature and love found in romantic poetry, presenting a more realistic and often cynical view of the world. Influence of world events reflects the impact of global events like World War, economic depressions, and cultural shifts, exploring themes of trauma, survival, and societal change. Influences of world events. Okay, these are the world wars, economic changes, survival, societal changes, multicultural and diverse perspectives. Modern poetry often incorporates influences from various cultures and voices, breaking the dominance of Western literary traditions. Would you like a deeper exploration of any of these features? Modern poetry is characterized by the number of features including free verse. Modern poets often use free verse, which is poetry without a regular rhythm. Free verse. Okay. Poetry without a regular rhythm. Experimentation. Stream of experimentation. Modern poets break with poetic tradition and experiment with form, language, and new rhythm and idioms. Stream of consciousness. Modern poets use a stream of consciousness narrative style to reveal the speaker's inner thoughts and feelings. Urban and industrial themes. Modern poetry often explores the impact of urbanization and industrialization on humans' experience. Rejection of romanticism. Modern poetry often rejects the idealized themes of romantic poetry in favor for a more realistic view of the world. Cultural and identity exploration. Modern poets explore questions of cultural identity, heritage, and search for meaning. Cultural identity exploration, blah blah blah. Rejection of romanticism. Postmodern playfulness. In the later stages of modern poetry, poets may challenge conventions, question authorship, and blur the lines between fiction and reality. Simple language modern often characterized by simple language fragmentation. Modern often characterized by fragmentation, alienation. Modern poetry is broad and dynamic genre that defines rigid definitions, embracing the wide range of styles, themes, and innovations. Here is an in-depth look. Origins and evolution. Modern poetry emerged in the late 19th and early 20th century, so reacting against the conventions of Victorian and Romantic poetry. Key movements such as Imagism, Symbolism, and later Modernism influenced its development. Pioneers poets like T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound, and William Carlos Williams pushed boundaries and explored new artistic expressions. Inspirations. Let me see, let me see, let me see, see, let me see, let me see, let me see. I don't know what I should do, bro. It's already 27 minutes. Resting grounds. Blah blah blah. Only 10 views, bro. What are you guys doing? Origins and evolution. Modern poetry emerged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, reacting against the conventions of Victorian and Romantic poetry. Key movements such as Imagism, Symbolism, and later Modernism influenced its development. Pioneer poets like T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound, and William Carlos Williams. His surname and first name are William and Williams, pushed boundaries and explored new artistic expressions. Key features: free verse. Modern poets often eschew traditional rhythm schemes and meter in favor of free verse, which offers greater flexibility in rhythm and structure. Imagism. This movement, spreaded by poets like Ezra Pound and H.D. Hilda Doolittle, emphasized clarity, precision, and economy of language, focusing on vivid imagery. Okay. Stream of consciousness. The technique replicates the natural flow of thoughts, presenting a character's inner monologue in a way that feels immediate and raw. Experimentation. Modern poetry is known for its innovative use of form and structure, including unconventional punctuation, line breaks, and visual layouts. Unconventional punctuation, line breaks, and visual layouts. Modern poetry Covers a wide array of themes: existentialism, poets question sometimes poets explore questions of existence, meaning, and individual group purpose. Personal. Wait a second, somebody's messaging me. Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. A little bit busy right now. Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. Wait. Busy chatting. Wait a second, what happened? Okay, anyways, let's get back. Nine, nine, go. Notable poets and works. What? Themes? I didn't read themes, I guess. Modern poetry covers a wide array of themes: existentialism, modern life, reflections of urbanization and industrialization and changing social landscape, personal and social identity, issues of race, gender, sexuality, and cultural identity are certain. Political and social commentary, critiques of political systems, wars, and social injustices. Notable poets and works. Okay, I don't need to read that. Modern poetry has had a profound impact on subsequent generations of poets and continues to inspire contemporary literature. It has opened up new possibilities for poetic expression, challenging readers to re-engage with text in novel ways. Modern poetry is like a kaleidoscope, constantly evoking and revealing new patterns. Each poet brings a unique voice and vision, making it an ever-expanding and deeply enriching form of artistic expression. Whether reflecting on the personal or the universal, modern poetry invites readers to explore the depth of human experience and the intricacies of languages. Modern poetry has had a profound impact on subsequent generations of poets and continues to inspire contemporary literature. It has opened up new possibilities for poetic expression, challenging readers to engage with texts in novel ways. Like every day, you see poets write poems. I mean, which has so much metaphorical. mm, what should I call it? Metaphorical references and stuff. Modern poetry is like kaleidoscope, constantly evolving and revealing new patterns. Oh, that's nice. Each poet brings a unique voice and vision, making it an ever expanding and deeply enriching form of artistic expression, whether reflecting on the personal or the universal. But by the way, modern poetry actually reflects more on the personal side, personal point of perspective of view, rather than the universal. Modern poetry invites readers to explore the depths of human experience and the intricacies of language. Alienation refers to a feeling of estrangement or disconnection from oneself, okay, others, or society is a common theme in literature. Like alienation, this kind of literature or poems is mostly written by the nihilistic authors like Nietzsche and Franz Kafka, all those people. It is a common theme in literature, philosophy, and sociology, reflecting the complexities of modern life. Key aspects of alienation: personal alienation, a sense of being detached from one's own emotions, desires, or identity. Second point is the often arises from internal conflicts or societal pressures. Social alienation, feeling isolated or excluded from the community or large society. Well, if you ever feel like this, whenever you go on a party of some of your friends, I mean, not that very close friends, and you will feel like that. And if you're an introvert, you'll feel like that, what am I doing here? No, I'm talking with nobody, just enjoying my drink, or enjoying the food here. I mean, you'll feel isolated, like there is no one to talk with you if you are like shy and introverted. Hi, Immersive Endo. Peak stream, yes it is. I feel like I'll be streaming for 2 days. I'm like this. Workplace alienation, a concept explored by Karl Marx. Communist, bro. No, sorry, Karl Marx isn't communist. Karl Marx is capitalist, where individuals feel disconnected from the products of their labor due to the repetitive or dehumanizing work condition. Like whenever I do like live streaming and stuff. Hi, drawing. Welcome to the stream. When individuals feel disconnected from the products of their labor due to repetitive or dehumanizing work conditions. Like if I do stream for straight 1 month, I'll literally feel exhausted and burned out from streaming that much. That's what it's trying to say. Disconnect from the product of their labor. And some days, for some days, I feel like that I'm not growing, and the pressure on me is literally high. And like, you know what happened today, Endo? I didn't buy a ticket, and I ride the train. And when I was going to college, when I like got off from the train, then I was caught by the TT of the station, and I was in a cell for like an hour and stuff. And then I had to plead, sir, please, I'm a student. I was going to the college for classes and shit. Please let me go. At first, there was some like female TTs. I asked them to let me go, but they didn't. But then, after some times, a man arrived who was also a TT, and he'll let me go after I asked him to. And yeah, they took money, but they charged less. I was charged less than the others who were like caught like me. I was charged like 4.73 Australian dollars, and the others were charged like double or triple of that. Existential alien. Oh my fucking god! I don't wanna zoom it in. Oh shit, that's too much. Okay, that's good. Existential alienation, explored in existential philosophy. This refers to the sense of meaninglessness or lack of purpose in life. Okay. In literature, alienation is often depicted as a response to modernity, industrialization, and the breakdown of traditional values. Notable examples including the characters in Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis. Yes. I have read that. I have read that full Metamorphosis. Or Albert Camus's The Stranger, who struggle with feelings of isolation and absurdity. Like, do you guys even read books? I mean, like, not the books which you study in your school, but other books like storytelling books. Do you have the time to read those? Alienation can lead to loneliness, despair, and a search for deeper meaning or connection. It is a certain theme in modern poetry, art, and storytelling, often used to critique societal structures or highlight the human condition. Development of modern poetry. Modern poetry emerged in the late 19th and 20th centuries as a reaction against tragical poetic forms and themes influenced by rapid societal changes, global conflicts, and advancements in philosophy and the arts. It redefined poetic expressions. Precursor movements. Romanticism focused on nature, emotion, and the individual. Modern poets often react against its idealism. Victorian poetry maintained moral or formal structures, which modern poets found restrictive. So, Victorian poetry maintains a moral and formal structure, which modern poets don't like. They like some kind of like informal structures, which has no moral. I mean, it is modern. What can you say about against it? Symbolism, a major influence, emphasizing suggestion, abstraction, and deeper symbolic meaning is in poetry. Early modernism, imagism, 1910s, led by poets like blah 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 blah. Influences on modern poetry. Technological advancements. Industrialization and urbanization influence themes, often contrasting human emotions with mechanical life. Global conflicts. The World Wars deeply impacted poetry. Let me put this down a little bit. Global conflicts. The world wars deeply impacted poetry, introducing themes of trauma, disillusionment, and existential despair. Philosophy and psychology. Existentialism and Freudian psychoanalysis inspired retrospective and fragmented writing. Art movements. Modernist movements like Cubism and Surrealism inspired innovative poetic structures and imagery. Key characteristics of modern poetry: use of free verse and rejection of rigid rhythm schemes, fragmentation in structure and narrative, reflecting the chaos of modern life, emphasis on individual experiences over universal truth, exploration of urban settings, industrial landscapes, and modern alienation, experimentation with symbolism, allusions, and intertextuality, postmodernism and beyond. By mid-20th century, modern poetry evolved into postmodernism. Mid-20th century, that means 1950s. Emphasizing playful language, irony, and self-reflexivity. Themes of identity, multiculturalism, and political critique gained for prominence. Prominent modern poets: T.S. Eliot, known for complex, elusive works like The Wasteland, is a pioneer of imagism and editor of many modern texts. Blah blah blah. More important movements and schools: Imagism, blah blah, Symbolism, blah blah blah, Surrealism, inspired by psychoanalysis and the unconscious mind. Surrealism embraced irrationality, dreamlike imagery. Surreal means not real, more than real. Juxtaposition and contradictory elements. Poets like Andre Breton and Paul Eluard sought to express deeper hidden truths. Dadaism, a movement born out of disillusionment with World War One. Dadaism embraced. So Dadaism is World War One and other world wars, World War Two. Dadaist poets used nonsense chants and collage as key techniques. Okay, I don't want to look into the poets. Themes in modern poetry. Modern poets often explore feelings of alienation both from society and from oneself. In response to the disorienting effects of industrialization, war, and modern life, alienation and disillusionment, we heard it a million times. So what should I play right now, guys? Like what? What should you want me to play? What do you want me to play? I know I have zero chance of getting like good views on my stream, but I'll still try. My neck is breaking while looking down at the screen for so long. Also, I've been streaming only for like 1 hour and 14 minutes. Let's go. Urban life and industrialization. Oh, I didn't read existentialism. Influenced by philosophers like Nietzsche and Sartre, modern poetry often grapples with the search for meaning in the increasingly chaotic and meaningless world. Urban life and industrialization. The rapid growth of cities. Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. Let me go back for a second. Right now. Okay, this is good. Okay, now we're talking. Urban life and industrialization. The rapid growth of cities and the rise of industrialization were significant influences on modern poetry, who often depicted the dehumanizing effects of these changes. The breakdown of traditional forms. Modern poets broke away from traditional verse forms, creating new structures that reflected the fragmentation of the modern world. I don't want to read about these poets. Okay, so one poem is done. So after this, we'll have to do what? We'll have to read other poems. And I'll have to see what music should we play after this. Halo OST. Like, let's play Halo OST. By the way, I can't hear anything. 4 hours of relaxing Halo music. Let's play this for now. I played the Hollow Knight one. Should we play the Cuphead one now? Cuphead? No, Cuphead isn't like mm, calming. I need some calming music. Calming music. Like Resident Evil AS7. I still can't hear it. I mean, wouldn't be able to hear it. But it's for you guys, not me. Okay? It's for you guys. I actually can't hear the music in the background. Let's start from this one. This page. ChatGPT. What is this? What the fuck is this? Chat GPT. Oh. What themes of love and nature can be found in The Sun Rising and To Autumn? In details with easy words. Okay. Let's read it. In The Sun Rising, love is a big theme. The poet is so in love with his partner that he doesn't want anything. The poet is actually John Donne. Donne. Not even the sun to disturb their time together. It shows how powerful love can be. Into autumn, nature is the main theme. The poet describes all the things happening in autumn, like harvesting and the changing colors of leaves. It's like a love letter to nature, showing how beautiful and amazing it is. The sun rising, sun rising, love is depicted as a force that transcends the constraints of time and space. The poet's intense affection for his lover leads him to challenge the natural order to natural order represented by the sun. His defiance of the sun's intrusion reflects the prioritization of personal relationships over external forces. Into autumn, nature is portrayed as a source of beauty, abundance, and tranquility. The poem celebrates the richness of the autumn season, highlighting the bounty of the harvest and the vibrant colors of nature. Through vivid imagery and sensory details, Keats captures the essence of autumn, conveying a deep appreciation for the natural world and its rhythms. Now let's read Sonnet 73 by William Shakespeare. In the poem Sonnet 73 by William Shakespeare, the topic of death. Oh my god, who is playing all that shit outside my house? Wait a second, guys, wait a second. At least it's not. At least it's not making too much noise, or I'd be like furious and stuff. I'd be so furious if it had made so much noise, but it's making close to no noise, and that's good. That is actually good. I don't know if you can see the shit which I'm trying to see myself here, but I don't care. I don't care. In the poem Sonnet 73 by William Shakespeare, the topic of death is discussed very much, while which might be unsuitable for all ages. Shakespeare talks about life coming to an end and the capacity of human beings to deal with the fact that all people that we love, including those around us that we don't, must die someday. Yet the human beings love with everything in his body because tomorrow is never guaranteed. Shakespeare conveys these feelings by the use of imagery, rhythm, and metaphors. The poet paints a picture on each quatrain of the sonnet conveying his concerns of the future roughness of old age. He does this by illustrating the life is limited by time. The poet indicates his feeling. The poet indicates his feeling that he is not long to live through the imagery of wintry bough, twilight's afterglow, and fire's dying embers. All the images in this sonnet suggest long live to the imagery of the wintry bough, twilight's afterglow, and the fire's dying embers. All the images in this sonnet suggest impending death. In the first quatrain, the poet compares himself to autumn leaves, but he is unable to pinpoint the exact number, just as he cannot determine how close he is to death. When yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs, which shake against the cold, the effect of this particular poetic device would be to show the reader to understand the value of love and life. Sonnet 73 has a formal structure and is written in the Shakespearean or English sonnet style. The sonnet consists of 3 stanzas of 4 lines, which means 3 quatrains with each line. Showing the pattern of the iambic pentameter, which follows a particular rhythm scheme or a pattern. What kind of pattern? Which was A B A B C D C D E F E F G G. To the use of rhythming the poems gets through the central theme of the poem, which is shown in the last rhythming couplet. Which is, this thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well, which thou must live ere long. Informs the reader that you will love the old man all the more because you know that he is near death. Metaphors are a way of conveying Shakespeare's message throughout this poem, which relates back to the central theme of death and how death is inevitable. He compares himself to the tree by saying, that time of year thou must in me behold with yellow leaves, or none, or few, to hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. Shakespeare compares his aging self to the aging tree. Just as the tree is losing its leaves, Shakespeare could be losing his hair. Lastly, the final metaphor is when Shakespeare is comparing himself to the fire in states. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with which it was nourished by. As the fire is dying, so Shakespeare. The effect of this poetic device is to show how the poet is feeling during the writing stages of the poem. Wow. There is a conclusion here. In conclusions, the poem Sonnet 73 by William Shakespeare stands out as very symbolic and metaphoric poem to what the poet is going through. The 3 different types of poetic devices used in this poem would be imagery, rhythm, and metaphor. imagery, rhythm, and metaphors. Okay, which all refer back to the original theme that runs throughout the problem, with his death and how death is inevitable or cannot be stopped. Then why shouldn't I kill myself right now? The life connection to this poem would most likely be that not waste time as you grow old. The life connection to this poem would most likely be that not waste time as you grow old, but rather enjoy everything while you can. That's cool. That's actually cool. And the second one is Ode to Autumn. Themes in Ode to Autumn. This was written by I guess John Keats. Beauty and Death. As the title would suggest, To Autumn celebrates the bountiful beauty of the fall. In the poem, autumn is a season characterized by a rich abundance of life. As the culmination of weeks of summer warmth and sunshine, autumn sees trees overloaded with fruit, beehives dripping with honey, and thick vines trailing up the sides of farmhouse. Often the poem is taken to be no more than an ode to a lovely, life-filled time of a year that is often overshadowed by spring and summer. And yet, running underneath this celebration of life is a sense of impending decay. Autumn's abundance is only possible because it comes at the end of the growing season. And all this well-being exists on the brink of death. As winter approaches, fruits will rot, leaves will fall, and crops will be harvested. This doesn't diminish the loveliness of autumn. Instead, that beauty shines all the more powerfully in the moments before it will soon be gone. In a way, death is just as much a part of autumn's loveliness as alive. The speaker envisions autumn as a traditional season that straddles the line between abundance and decay. The speaker envisions as a traditional season the speaker envisions autumn as a traditional season which straddles the time between abundance and decay. Life would transform the beauty into something ugly, which perhaps is why the speaker appreciates autumn not as a season of growth, but rather one of impending death and reaping. Okay. The poem ultimately presents death as a sort of peaceful rest at the end of turbulent activity. The poem ultimately presents death as a sort of peaceful rest at the end of turbulent activity. To this end, the speaker depicts the day's transition into a night and the seasonal transition of autumn into winter, as a process similar to falling asleep. First comes the onset of everything. Like autumn and its fruits, the day is dying, but softly. This process has been beautiful quality of a flower that slowly blooms and withers, knowing death is on the horizon. The speaker interprets all the music, which might appear any time of the year, takes on a special beauty in the gathering shadow of death. Shadow of death. Shadow fight too. Sorry. I don't know how to tell you I love you how much. I don't know. Wait a second, guys. I was searching something on my phone. I was searching some notes. That is done. Embracing the present. In To Autumn, the speaker stays rooted in the colorful world of the moment. The speaker urges personified autumn not to think about the songs of spring, but rather to appreciate the music within, and asks both autumn and the reader to focus exclusively on the here and now, to focus on the present, not the past, not the future. The poem suggests that embracing the present leads to a deep appreciation of the past and future as well. The poem's first lines, containing bending apple trees, swelling gourds, gourds, that's gourds, ripe fruit, and beehives overflowing with honey. These images of teeming life emphasizes that the poem is all about the bounty of autumn. The bounty results from autumn's close relationship with the maturing sun, conspiring with him to load and bless, while appreciating this specific point of time. Then, the poem also recognizes the autumn only appears as the end of the long process of growth and ripening. On the one hand, then, the poem urges readers to simply stop and take in the beauty of this particular moment. At the same time, the poem subtly, subtly implies that to do so properly requires an appreciation of everything that led us to this moment. Yeah, true. As well as an appreciation of what will come next. To that end, the poem is shared among the seasons. First off, both autumn and spring are full of noise and diverse life. At the same time, hints at the impending winter and its associated forms of death. The poem conveys autumn's depth without explicitly referring to the other seasons. Instead, it focuses on thy music, autumn's music. At the same time, at the same time that it distinguishes autumn. This lively, mournful music joins it with the past and future. Wow. Okay, so all that is done. Man. At least I got like 22 viewers today. I'm happy with that. That some people watch me. Oh my god, my girlfriend is messaging. Wait a second, guys. I will be back in a second. Guys, wait a second. Embracing the present, the autumn. The poet John Keats tells you to not focus on. Wait a second, guys, wait a second. বললি যে ইয়েটা পরবি হলুদটা ভালো লাগছে দারুণ কিছু বলবো কিছু নিজেরটা তো ইয়ে কর আনমিউট কর মাইকটা ভালো লাগছে Winter and spring. দারুণ, সেক্সি। ঠিকঠাক আছে। কি হচ্ছে না? দাঁড়া দাঁড়া, 1 সেকেন্ড দাঁড়া, আসছি। হুম। কখন আসবে? কসমো ছাড়া তো আরো দারুণ লাগছে। হুম, 8টার সময় হয়তো যাবি। ভালো লাগছে আমার। हाँ हाँ हाँ, চশমা পরে আসিস বলেই তো তোকে ইয়ে লাগছে, মনে হচ্ছে গ্রাজুয়েশন কমপ্লিট করে জব ফব করছিস। হুম। আচ্ছা, কত ঢিলা। ও, হুম, ভালো আছে। দিয়ে সোহা আসবে নাকি তোর ঘরে? আচ্ছা, বাহ, হুম, আচ্ছা। বাহ। দেখতে বাহ, দেখতে ভালোই লাগছে সব। হুম। লা 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 লা। পড়ছিলাম আমি এখন। হ্যাঁ। হুম, তুলে নিবি ওদের সাথে একসাথে সবাই। হুম, ঠিক লাগছে। এই জায়গাটা মনে হচ্ছে অনেক বেশি ফর্সা হয়ে গেছে। এই জায়গাটা, এই জায়গাটা, পুরো এই জায়গাটা একদম অনেক বেশি অনেক বেশি মনে হচ্ছে ফর্সা হয়ে গেছে। তবু হালকা। আর লিপস্টিকটা ভালো গেছে, একদম ম্যাচ করছে। লিপস্টিকটা ম্যাচ করছে। কত আর পাউডার পুতবি? 2 বছর পরে দেখবি একদম মুখটা পাউডারে ভর্তি তোর। বেশি লাগাস না, ওটাই বলবো। বুঝে যাচ্ছে যে তুই মেকআপটা নিচটা ওরকম করেছিস, পাউডার লাগিয়েছিস, বুঝে যাচ্ছে। হ্যাঁ। ও। ও। হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে। বাই বাই। हाँ। Freaking hell, bro. Freaking hell. When your girlfriend calls and you are in live stream, when your girlfriend calls and you are in live stream, that's what happens. Okay? That's what happens when your girlfriend calls and you're in live stream. You guys keep listening to this till then. You guys keep listening to this shit till then I zoom in on this and yeah, nothing else. I will just leave for a moment right now. I need to eat some bananas. I will not eat while showing you I'm eating. Some fruits. I'm gonna eat some fruits and I'll be back in a second. Okay, guys? I'll be back in a few minutes. not a second, in a few minutes. Yeah, till then, just wait or whatever. I'm telling in the chat. Wait, I'm going to eat something. Will be back in 5 minutes, and then I'll complete the whole poem which I was reading, Sonnet 73 by William Shakespeare. Okay, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. Not bye bye. Just wait for a minute. I'm leaving my headphones down here. Headphones. Hey boys, who is here? I am back. Wait a sec. Um, back. Yeah, like whatever. Let me see if my uh okay, mic is still running, but you can't hear anything. So let me do this first. Okay, can you hear anything now? Oh shit, I forgot to play this for you guys. Okay, now you could be able to hear everything, I guess. But I'll have to turn this off now. Is it good? Yes, it is good. Sorry guys, I forgot. I literally legit forgot that I had a live stream going on. So basically where we were, yeah, we were in the middle of reading and stuff. And I can't waste any more time because my exams are in 3 days and I have read nothing. I'm understanding things slowly, but I don't know how much would I perform if I study like this. The speaker uses extended metaphor not only to compare his bed into an empire, his deathbed, but also to take all the world's empires into his own bed. In doing so, he contracts the entire world into the space of his bedroom, because he figures his lover as all states and himself as all princes. What? Because he figures his lover as all states and himself as all princes, or prince, not princess, prince. So he claims that these peripheral sources of imperial wealth and power now lie here with me, incorporated into the body of the speaker's lover. By turning the bed into a microcosm, the speaker is able to increase his own importance so that his orders to the sun are justified rather than insubordinate. The speaker says that nothing else is real, meaning that the relationship between the two lovers and all that matters is this relationship is expensive, that it contains the entire universe within it. By contracting the entire world to the microcosm of the bed, the speaker affirms the authority and all encompassing power granted to him by love. Cool, cool stuff. Let's read this, The Sun Rising by Donne. John Donne. The main theme of this poem is love. It is basically a celebration of love through the metaphysical conceit carried through in the form of the sun. Although this poem does not explicitly bleed body and soul, it is nevertheless an argument of love that can combine spiritual and physical love in perfect equality. The sun rising. In the form of sun, although the poem does not explicitly blend body and soul, is nevertheless an argument of love that can combine spiritual and physical love in perfect equality. The authority of love. In The Sun Rising, the speaker wants to bend the rules of the universe rather than allowing the sun's movements across the sky to govern the way it's supposed to be. Bend the rules of reality, of the nature. The speaker challenges the authority of sun and claims that love gives him the power to stay in bed all day. What the heck? To stay in bed all day with his lover? What the heck? In this way, the poem elevates the importance and the power of love above the natural rhythms of the day. The speaker distinguishes love as unfamiliar with the rags of time. Wait a second, let me make a video about it. Wait a second, guys. Let me make a video about it. It literally says, the speaker challenges the authority of sun and claims that love gives him the power to stay in bed all day with his lover. What the fuck? The speaker challenges the authority of sun and claims that love gives him the power to stay in bed all day with his lover. What the fuck? Like literally, what the fuck? Oh my god, bro. Dude. This is peak, bro. This is peak. The speaker challenges the authority of sun and claims that love gives him the power to stay in bed all day with his lover. Guys, anyways, that's too much for now. Enough use of ChatGPT and the internet and Wikipedia. In the way, the poem elevates the importance and the power of love above the natural rhythms of the day. The speaker distinguishes love as unfamiliar with the rags of time and suggests that love is everlasting and therefore not subject to the starts and stops of hours, days, months, and other temporal units that govern the lives of others. Time, including the rising and setting sun, works differently. for lovers than for anyone else. The speaker distinguishes love as unfamiliar. The speaker distinguishes love as unfamiliar with the rags of time and suggests that love is everlasting and therefore not subject to the starts and stops of hours, days, months, and other temporal units that govern the lives of others. Time, including the rising and setting sun, works differently for lovers than for anyone else. Love as a microcosm to the universe. In The Sun Rising, John Donne uses metaphor to pack the entire world into a small space. This technique is grounded in the idea of microcosm. This idea is derived from a popular Renaissance believed in the human body was a small scale model of the that the human body was a small scale model of the whole universe. In this poem, the small space is not a single body, but rather the lover's bed. The speaker transforms himself into a kind of king of the world and the bed as the center of the universe. He claims that to warn the what? To warn the what? Okay, there after that there is nothing. Man! Ode to Autumn, Ode to Autumn. I need to read this first. This is the first page and this is the last page. The second page and the last page. But I have a PDF of that. Wait, let me close this up. Let me close this shit. No, that was not a PDF. That was literally this. A handwriting. To Autumn. By John Keats. To Autumn is a poem by English romantic poet John Keats, 1795 to 1821. Bro, he literally lived like 26 years and then died. The work was composed on 19 September 1819, although personal problems left him little time to devote to poetry in 1819. He composed To Autumn after a walk near Winchester, one autumn evening. The work marks the end of his poetic career. A little over a year after the publication of To Autumn, Keats died in Rome. In the background, although Keats managed to write many poems in 1819, he was suffering from a multitude of financial troubles, such as throughout the year, such as concerns over his brother George, who, after emigrating to America, was badly in need of money. Okay, despite these distractions, on 19th September 1819, he found time to write To Autumn, Ode to Autumn. On the same day, he walked near Winchester along the River Itchen. In a letter to his friend, John Hamilton Reynolds, written on 21st September, Keats described, what did he describe? Keats described the impression that the scene had made upon him and its influence on the composition of To Autumn. How beautiful the season is now, how fine the air, a temperate sharpness about it. I never liked stubble fields so much as now. Somehow, a stubble plain looks warm in the same way that some pictures look warm. What is the next page? This struck me so much in my Sunday's walk that I composed upon it. Keats did not send To Autumn to Reynolds, but did include the poem within a letter to Richard Woodhouse, his publisher, a friend, and dated it on the same day. Okay, so he wrote the poem and mailed it to Richard Woodhouse on the same day he wrote. Okay, nice, cool. Ode to Autumn. To Autumn describes, in its three stanzas, three different aspects of the season: its fruitfulness, its labor, and its ultimate decline. Through the stanzas, there is a progression from early autumn to mid-autumn, and then to the heralding of winter. Heralding, what is the meaning of heralding? Heralding. Parallel to this, the poem depicts the day turning from morning to afternoon and into dusk. These progressions are joined with a shift from the tactile sense of that of sight and then of sound, creating a three-part symmetry, which is not present in Keats' other poems. Keats's other odes. Ode. What is the difference between an ode and a poem? An ode is a small song, right? Small kind of song like. And a poem is a poem. Man, I don't know what's the difference. The first stanza of the poem, as the poem progresses, autumn is represented metaphorically as one who conspires, who ripens fruit, who harvests, who makes music. The first stanza of the poem represents autumn as involved with the promotion of natural processes, growth, and ultimate maturation. Two forces in opposition in nature, but together, creating the impression that the season will not end. In this stanza, what happened? In this stanza, the fruits are still ripening and the buds still opening in the warm weather. In the first stanza, the fruits are still ripening and the flower buds, still opening in the warm weather. Okay, cool. In the second stanza, autumn is personified as a harvester, to be seen by the viewer in various guises, performing laboring tasks essential to the provision of food for the coming year. There is a lack of definitive action. Autumn is not depicted actually harvesting, but as seated, resting, or watching. In lines 14 to 15, the personification of autumn is such as an exhausted laborer. Near the end of the stanza, the steadiness of the gleaner in lines 19 to 20 again emphasizes emotionlessness within the poem. The progression through the day is revealed in actions that are what does it say, man? This is not my handwriting. This is a friend's handwriting and I don't understand. That are what CW that are all suggestive of the that are I don't make it out. What does it say? That are all suggestive of the drowsiness of afternoon. The harvested grain is being windowed. The harvester is asleep or returning home. The last drops issue from the cinder press. What is cinder? What does cinder mean? Cinder. I have to search it up. Cinder. Cinder meaning. Also, I'm like streaming this on my second laptop, which is not that powerful. A small piece of burned or partly burnt substance, such as coal. Oh, cinder means coal or wood that is no longer burning or may still be hot. Cinder. Okay. It can also describe fragments of lava from a volcano. So here it means some fragments of like coal and stuff. The last stanza contrasts autumn's sound with those of spring. The sounds that are presented are not only those of autumn, but essentially the gentle sounds of the evening. Grants wait and lambs bleat in the dusk. As night approaches within the final moments of the song, death is slowly approaching alongside the end of this year. Wow, what a beautiful poem. Mind-bending poem, bro. The twittering swallows gather for departure, leaving the field bare. The references to spring, the growing lambs, and the migrating swallows remind the reader that the seasons are a cycle, widening the scope of the stanza from a single season to life in general. So how much did views we did get? And I'm caring about the views right now. I should be caring about how to pass in the exam because I don't understand a thing. I just remembering it like I just remembering it like in my head. That's all. Nothing else. Okay, and the later parts, it explains uh, what the what the poem is trying to say. I mean, what the key aspects are there in this poem, but I'm not gonna read that. In The Sun Rising, the poet is basically telling the sun to go away because he's enjoying a cozy moment with his lover. He doesn't want the day to start because he's in love. Into Autumn, the poet is talking about how awesome autumn is. He is describing all the cool stuff that happens during autumn, like harvesting crops and enjoying a nice weather. He thinks autumn is really beautiful and important. Yeah, that is written nicely. What themes of love can nature can what themes of love and nature can be found in The Sun Rising and Ode to Autumn? Okay. Oh fuck. Wait a sec. In The Sun Rising, love is a big theme. The poet is so in love with his partner that he doesn't want anything, not even the sun, to disturb their time together. It shows how powerful love can be. In To Autumn, nature is the main theme. The poet describes all the things happening in autumn, like harvesting and changing colors of leaves. It's like a love letter to nature, showing how beautiful and amazing it is. In The Sun Rising, the love is depicted as a force. In Sun Rising, love is depicted as a force that transcends the constraints of time and space. The poet's intense affection for his lover leads him to challenge the nature order represented by the sun. The defiance of the sun's intrusion reflects the prioritization of personal relationship over external forces. Into Autumn, however, nature is portrayed as a source of beauty, abundance, and tranquility. Beauty, abundance, and tranquility. The poem celebrates the richness of autumn season, highlighting the bounty of the harvest and the vibrant color of nature through vivid imagery and sensory details. John Keats captures the essence of autumn, conveying a deep appreciation for the nature world. Wow, how nice. This poem is. I don't understand a thing in this poem, but I'm still trying to understand this poem. Also, my laptop is kind of sorry, my phone and laptop both are kind of hot right now. I don't know, I don't understand why. Yeah, you literally get no subs for like studying, but for being funny on the internet, you get so much subs, bro. Yeah, anyways, I don't care. I have to study, I have exams. That's what I'm trying to say here. All messages. Again, let me see one thing. If somebody messaged me right now, let me see that and I'll be back in a second. Yeah, I'm trying not to get distracted here, but I'll have to see. There it is again, Elizabethan literature, which I hate the most. Cheeseburger, Beeschurger. Anyways, let's put it down. Let's put it down. I'll be distracted. I don't want to get distracted so much. Yeah, that's all. 100 seconds. Mew 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 mew. Meow 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 meow. Can't I go like full screen all the with this? Yeah, that's what I wanted, bro. I didn't want all that bullshit and stuff. Like this. This is all I want. Elizabethan literature. Elizabethan literature refers to the bodies of work produced during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, 1558 to 1603. So it happened during the 14th century, right? No, sorry. 16th, 20th century means 1900. So 16th century, from the mid 16th century, and is one of the most splendid ages of English literature. In addition to drama and theatre, it saw a flowering of poetry with new forms like the sonnet, the Spenserian stanza, and dramatic blank verse, as well as prose, including historical chronicles, pamphlets, and the first English novels. Major writers including William Shakespeare, Edmund Spenser, Christopher Marlowe, Richard Hooker, Ben Jonson, Philip Sidney, and Thomas Kidd, K-Y-D Kidd. Historical context: Elizabeth I presided over a vigorous culture that saw notable accomplishments in the arts, voyages of discovery, the Elizabethan settlement that created the Church of England, and the defeat of military threats from Spain. During her reign, a London-centered culture, both courtly and popular, produced great poetry and drama. English playwrights combined the influence of the medieval theatre with the Renaissance's discovery of the Roman dramatists. Seneca for tragedy, and Plautus and Terence. For comedy, Italy was an important source for Renaissance ideas in England, and the linguist and lexicographer Joel blah 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 blah. Man, this is too mind bending. Let me go down a little bit. Prose. Two of the most important Elizabethan prose writers were John Lilly. This isn't considered Lily. Lilly. And Thomas Nash. Lilly is in. Why am I saying Lilly all the time? Lily is an English writer, poet, dramatist, playwright, and politician. Best known for his books Euphues, The Anatomy of Wit, and Euphues and His England. Lilly's mannered literary style originated in his first books, is known as Euphuism. Lilly must also be considered and remembered as a primary influence on the plays of William Shakespeare, and in particular the romantic comedies. Romantic comedy? I've only read romantic tragedies, bro. No comedies. No comedy and shit. Only romantic tragedies. Tragedy. Tragedy. My face is getting darker, I don't know why. Just because it's getting oily, I guess. Yeah, it's a little bit oily. I have to bath tomorrow. I haven't bathed today because it was too cold. Anyways, let's get into it. Tragedies. Italian literature, English tongue of civilization, changes of the canon. While the canon of Renaissance English poetry of the 16th century has always been in some form of flux pavilion. It is only towards the late 20th century that concentrated efforts were made to challenge the canon. Questions that once did not even have to be made, such as where to put the limitation of periods, what geographical areas to include, what genres to include, what writers and what kinds of writers to include, are now central. Okay, understood. In the 18th century, interest in Elizabethan poetry was rekindled through the scholarship of Thomas Watson and others. So it was originated in 16th century, but in 18th century it was rekindled by Thomas Wharton, not Watson, Wharton. And all of this is so much mind bending. I don't know if I can remember all this, so I'm skipping that part. Theater. The Italian Renaissance had discovered the ancient Greek and Roman theater. This revival of interest was instrumental in the development of the new drama, which was then beginning to make apart from the old mystery and miracle plays of the Middle Ages. The Italians were inspired by Seneca, and by Plautus. Hmm. However, However, the Italian tragedies embraced a principle contrary to Seneca's ethics, showing blood and violence on the stage. Seneca's plays, such scenes, were only acted by the characters during the reign of Elizabeth I and the James I. Elizabeth I and James I. Okay. In the late 16th and early 17th century, a London-centered culture that was both courtly and popular produced great poetry and drama. The English playwrights were intrigued by the Italian model. A conspicuous community of Italian actors had settled to London. Okay, this part is shit. This part is shit. All this part is shit. It's about some people. John Donne was an Elizabethan poet. Didn't know it. Ben Jonson, Thomas Middleton, John Webster. So there are both Johns, two Johns in Elizabethan period, John Donne and John Webster. And in modern poetry, during modern poetry, there was one was called was called what was he called? Yeah, he was called John Keats. Oh, see, this was downloaded from Wikipedia, bro. That's why it's so much mind bending. Okay, let me read another one of those mind bending English literature stories. There was another one of those. Wait a second, where did it go? There was another one of those like Elizabethan literatures, but I forgot where did it go. Um, I have to see. I have to find. I have to find. I have to find. Wait a sec, guys. Wait a sec. I'll have to find it quick, ASAP. Did I download it before? Wait a sec, guys. Wait a second. Key features of metaphysical poetry. And John Donne was enjoying his fame for writing his lines, bro. Dude. Mind bending. All of this stuff is mind bending. Don't know what to do anymore. And did you guys know I also make songs? Ah, my neck. Ode to Autumn, let's read it first. Ode to Autumn. Oh my god, this is shit. Romanticism was an artistic, literary, and intellectual movement that originated in Europe towards the end of the 18th century. 18th century, okay. Understood, 18th century. Zoom, fit to it. No, 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 not this, not this, not this. Where zoom to page level? Oh fuck, no, 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 no. No. Bit height, read mode. And zoom in, how do I zoom in? How do I zoom it in? Okay, that was too much. Romanticism was an artistic, literary, and intellectual movement that originated in Europe toward the end of the 18th century. Scholars regard the publishing of William Wordsworth and Samuel Coleridge's lyrical ballads in 1798. So it was originated. So romantic movement was in. Like in 1798 and probably the beginning of the movement in England. And the crowning of Queen Victoria in 37. So it happened in 18th century. So first Elizabethan, then Romantic, then after that modern. Hmm. Romanticism arrived in other parts of English-speaking world later in the United States about 1820. Man, the studies are pretty fucked up. The Romantic period was one social. The revolution which provided jobs in the factories and place operated by machine driven by steam power. Oh guys, wait a second, wait a second. I'm chatting with someone. I need some time off. Romantic poetry, but I'm not romantic. How would I explain this to someone? CHSL full form. I have to search CHSL full form. CHSL full form exam. Combined CHSL government exams and all that shit. I'll have to pass those exams as well as my college exams. General knowledge, uh, general awareness, and what? Problem solving skills. Yeah, all that. Oh my god, my god. The romantic movement in English literature of the early 19th century has its roots on 18th century poetry, the Gothic novel, and the novel of sensibilities. And the novel of sensibility includes the pre-romantic graveyard poets from the 1740s, whose work are characterized by gloomy meditations on mortality. And this was added by the later practitioners, a feeling of the sublime and uncanny and an interest in Ancient English poetic forms and folk poetry. Gothic novels like the Dracula and stuff. It includes the pre-romantic graveyard poets from the graveyard poets from the 1740s, whose work are characterized by gloomy meditations on mortality, skulls and coffins, epitaphs and worms. This is also added by later practitioners, a feeling for the sublime and uncanny, and an interest in ancient. Oh my god! Girls. Wait a sec, guys. Not a sec, wait a whole lot of half an hour. YouTube. Gothic poets. Too much bullshit. Romantic poetry. The physical landscape is prominent in the poetry of this period. The Romantics, especially Wordsworth, used in the. Oh my god. Different nature poets, however, this nature poet. The physical landscape is prominent in the poetry of this period. The Romantics and especially Wordsworth are often described as nature poets. However, these nature poems reveal wider concerns in that they are often meditation on an emotional problem or personal crisis. The poet, painter, and printmaker William Blake. William Blake was a poet, a painter, and a printmaker. Wow. Mm, nature poems reveal wider concerns in that they are often meditations or an emotional problem or personal crisis. After Blake, among the earlier Romantics were the Lake poets, who were friends including William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Robert Southey, and journalist Thomas De Quincey. There is a spontaneous overflow of power feeling which takes its origin from emotional recollection and tranquility. The poems and lyrical. Oh my god, I'm breaking down. Seriously. Lyrical ballads were mostly by Wordsworth through Coleridge. Tranquil poems and lyrical ballads were mostly by Wordsworth through Coleridge contributed one of the great poems in English literature, the long rhyme of the ancient mariner. Bro. I have to study. I have to study. Not just joke around and all that stuff. I have to study. But I don't know. I'm just distracted by this phone and stuff. And I'm not studying. All that. All that. I'm just getting distracted. Fuck! Dude. What? No, not connect to Wikipedia. Second generation. The second generation of Romantic poets include Lord Byron, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and John Keats. Through John Keats's shared Byron and Shelley's radical politics. He was the son of farm laborer. He came to the north literary representations of the English countryside. Fundamental measure re-evaluation in the late 20th century and is often now considered to be among the most important 19th century poets. His biographer Jonathan Bate states that there was greatest labouring class poet in has ever produced. No one has ever written more powerfully of nature, of the rural childhood, and the opinionated and unstable self. George Crabbe was an English poet who during the Romantic period wrote closely observed realistic. Oh my god, I don't want to read anymore. I don't know why. All this shit is so boring. Oh my god. Um, 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 um. Um, 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 um. And everything is going above my head. Everything is going above my head, and I don't wanna put anything in my head right now. Okay, all this Wikipedia shit, I don't wanna see. I don't wanna see them. I don't wanna see the faces, bro. What's the time, bro? 8:44. F11. To Autumn is a poem by English romantic poet John Keats, 1795 to 1821. The work was composed on 19 September 1819. Although personal problems left him little time to devote to poetry, in 1819 he composed To Autumn. Although Keats managed to write many poems in 1819, he was suffering from a multitude of financial troubles throughout the year, including concerns over his brother, George, who after emigrating to America was badly in need of money. Despite these distractions, on in September 1819 he found time to write To Autumn. On the same day he walked near Winchester along the River Richer. In the letter to his friend John Hamilton Reynolds written on 21st September, Keats described the impression the scene had made upon him and his influence on the composition of To Autumn. How beautiful the season is now, how fine the air. How beautiful the season is now, how fine the air, a temperate sharpness about it. I never liked stubble fields so much as now. Somehow, a stubble plain looks warm in the same way that some pictures look warm. Picture. Although Keats managed to write many poems in 1918, he was suffering from a multitude of financial troubles throughout the year, including concerns over his brother, George, who, after emigrating to America, was badly in need of money. Despite these distractions, on 19 September 1890, he found his time to write to the autumn, Ode to Autumn, the same day. Although Keats managed to write many poems in 1819, he was suffering from a multitude of financial troubles throughout the year, including concerns over his brother Gregor, who, after immigrating to America, was badly in need of money. Oh my bro, I'm wasting so much time chatting. I have to read. Da, 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 da. Tackles in from that side and then up down, creating a three-part symmetry which is not present in Keats's other codes. As the poem progresses, autumn is represented metaphorically as one who conspires, who ripens fruit, who harvests, who makes music. The first stanza of the poem represents autumn as involved with the promotion of natural processes, growth, and ultimate maturation. Two forces in opposition in nature, but together creating the impression that the season will not end. In this stanza, the fruits are still ripening and the birds still opening in the warm weather. Dum 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 dum. Guys, ending stream. Bye. Dum 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 dum.